Okay, so we're back. Hopefully, we've got a few people. I got to email Tara because apparently something going on there.
Poor Tara. We're not leaving you out. We're bringing you on.
It's just me being a dolt, probably, or something. Johnny Highwitz. Okay, so I guess that's working for him because I think he said it wasn't working.
Well, Cage isn't here right just yet, so we can blame this on him if you want. He doesn't have to know.
Hey, it's all about accepting responsibility. I learned that in boarding school. Might as well just take the fall for everybody, if that's the case.
Not going to rat? You do well in prison.
Well, it's just about. It's not about it. Yeah, that's a conflicting one. Let's see if. So it's been a long time, man.
Oh, it's been too long. Oh, sorry, I haven't really been around for the last month or so.
Well, you've been busy.
Trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, I would say that's busy.
Well, so exciting, eh?
Oh, it is fun for sure. Like, I'm having a good time raising the kid, but I'd be lying if I said I had it figured out yet. I'm still kind of just taking it day by day. Oh. I say that as if I'm like, as if I'm recovering from an addiction. Just going one day at a time, man.
One day at a time. You can be like me.
There you go.
A recovering alcoholic.
Yeah, but I don't get a 1 year chip or a 2 year chip or anything like that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. You get a cake after 1 year. It's pretty cool.
No, give it a couple more years and I'll have a kid that talks back to me. And she will talk back. She's my kid, so.
So how's it going, Daddy?
Oh, it's a great time. She's actually starting to laugh now, which is kind of cool.
She's my kid.
I was coming off of Tara's stuff. Okay. I was wondering where the echo was coming from. But yeah, no, she's starting to laugh now, which is kind of cool. Like, not just like a little sound or something, but like a full blown laugh. So it's actually kind of cool.
I think we're on.
We are.
Okay.
We went live when you walked away.
Oh, yeah, you do that to me. Okay.
We proceeded to just say the worst things about you while you were gone.
Well, that's good. Okay.
You weren't here to hear them, so why not?
He was trying to make me blame you for my technological mishaps.
It's true, I was.
Oh.
I told you. I said, Cage's not here. We can blame him. You never know. But she was saying, I gotta be responsible.
You do. That's what it's all about. It's about, and my sense of humor. I don't really have one, right? But you know that.
That's not true. You do. You're just very dry. Your fucking sense of humor cracks me up.
If you were a stand-up comedian, you make a good one-liner comedian.
My legs hurt. I can't be a stand-up comedian.
I'm going to finish
Put a chair on stage for you. There you go.
Oh.
All right.
My shirt. A friend of mine just had this made for me. I just got it today.
I saw the top part. I didn't know what added on. You're just a fucking idiot. I love that.
That's awesome.
I saw it on a group that I'm in. Somebody had posted, and I said, oh, my God, I need one of those. And I was at Superstore today, and a friend of mine who had seen that post came over. She's like, I've got something for you. And this was it. And I thought, well, that's great. It's too bad because I had just done all my shopping, but I just wanted to walk around. I just through the store one more time before I left.
Gotta get me one of those shirts.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Except that, of course,
I when they all come true.
Well, and
No
that's
kidding.
it.
Then you
That's
become a
the funny
spoiler.
part.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite one that I saw a little while ago. It's like, I'm not a conspiracy. We got to stop calling them conspiracy theorists and call them spoiler alerts.
That's a good one. Right on.
It's true. After so long, you have to just. I don't know about you guys, but I really like saying "I told you so" because I post all this shit. I send it to my family and friends, and they all call me names and roll their eyes and stop inviting me to fucking family dinners. And then all this shit comes true, and I'm like, I'm just waiting. One day, one of them is going to say, you know what, you were right, but they won't. But I keep hoping. So I pointed out to them when I am right. I feel like I said this. Do you remember that? You know, because you have to, otherwise you get no credit. And you figure after being right so many times, whether they admit it or not, eventually they would catch on and get on board, but they don't. It doesn't matter how many times you're right, for how long, about how many things, they don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. The Patriot VW's got a good one. I'm a BS sifter. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, LGC.
2 years, man. I'm just trying to digest all of that. It's so strange too, but I don't believe ever in coincidences. None of this is coincidence. It's not coincidence. Tara and I often have this conversation about how it's not coincidence that she and I cross paths.
No,
you know,
at all. Yeah. Not even at all.
No.
Like,
Lots of people don't know that story.
I don't know if you guys know the story of how I met Seamus, but I'm going to tell you because, you know, we're here. I was working at the bank. I was I was not a normal person. I would never say that. I always knew that there was shit wrong. I just didn't know what it was. And I had a full-time job and I was a single mom and I had a kid and I didn't know the details. I just knew that shit wasn't what I was being told that it was. I started to find out about, you know, vaccinations and shit like that long before the COVID nonsense. All those things started to sort of come to me, but I didn't have any sense about it. And then I had a car accident, like a bad one. I have a brain injury that is not healing. And that because of that car accident, I don't know how, I became aware of Seamus's channel. And he was talking about some shit that sort of made all the background stuff in the back of my head be like, oh, okay, I get that. I see this and I can see what's going on. So I started to get a little bit activated in finding out what was going on. And then Seamus disappeared. I was just somebody who watched his channel. And then he was gone. And I was like, I wonder if they fucking killed that guy. So I messaged them. Because he had messages from like some people that, you know, they're not fucking around. And I messaged him. I'm like, yo, are you okay? Like, you alive? And are you okay? And he was like, yeah, I'm good. And that's how I came to know Seamus.
Yeah.
Just from if I hadn't had that car accident, honestly, that car accident changed my whole life. And if I hadn't had that accident, I'd be still living in the city, working at the bank. And when this happened to my family, I would have been fucked because I would have had nowhere to turn. I would have had no support. And I wouldn't have even been in the mindset of able to process just how corrupt our system was, because lucky for me, I was already on that path and I was getting there. But if I was just somebody who had a regular job and this happened to my family and now I had to process that my RCMP, my government is fully corrupt and hiding all this shit, like that's a lot that's a lot to take on all at one time and to become aware of it. When I first started talking to Seamus and I was learning about all this shit, he laughed at me because I couldn't sleep, and I'd get up through the night and watch videos on how to raise chickens, just so that I had something else in my head, because the shit was making me nuts. So I feel bad for any of the family members and the members of the public who this is their first exposure to how bad the shit really is.
But you got to admit, it's a pretty big wake-up call for a lot of these people, you know?
Yep.
It is.
Yeah, and ironically, this came upon right when all the other reveals were supposed to be going on everywhere and stuff happening everywhere, and this wasn't meant to be a distraction. I don't think. I don't think this was even a false flag, but all this craziness going on with COVID and everything else, and this really would have just got swept under the rug. That would have just got pushed away. You know, eventually some other family members would have come up with a lawsuit here and there, or, you know, tried to get some kind of attention. But that the team that evolved, that grew, that's here and is out there on Discord and YouTube and Facebook, that the team that's really dug into all this, they didn't see it coming.
No.
They had no idea that they were going to have to change press conferences every day to fix what 5 or 6 people on YouTube were tearing apart.
Yeah, it was entertaining to watch them backpedal and change their story to match what had come out of our group.
I think the thing that really threw them off is that this is a sort of tactics that they have used plenty of times in the past. You know, you put out some basic information, eventually people lose interest, and then they're gone. The story's gone. But it was one time where that wasn't the case, and you could see that it was actually putting them on the back foot, putting them on the defensive.
Yeah.
And the work that, you know, you guys have done and the people in the Discords have continued to do has been amazing, because I know that I haven't really been involved in it over the last little bit. I mean, I was gone for a year and some, so I wasn't involved at all with any of this. But the fact that you guys have kept on with the investigation is fantastic.
Well, the other thing, they tried to push narratives right off the bat too. So they tried to push the whole Lisa and you know, women, like abuse of women and all that kind of stuff, which didn't fly at all. And at the same time, going in the other direction, is they tried to tell us all that this happened because of an argument at a house party. Oh, you mean the house parties we're not supposed to have because of the lockdown? One of those house parties? And then they couldn't go after and say, oh, well, all these people, it's because of they had a house party, because it's 16 different crime scenes over 13 hours and hundreds of kilometers that covers a third of a frickin' province. Yeah. So even the narratives they tried to use, they couldn't. The narratives they might have been able to jump on, they weren't smart enough to figure it out. I've said this from the start. The people that were in the RCMP and CSIS and the government doing the cover-up on this really suck at their job.
They really do.
They completely really suck at their job.
Yeah.
Well, I think what ended up happening is that there's sort of a script that they go by whenever a situation like this takes place, and that's just what they've become accustomed to. So when it actually required them to improvise, they weren't very good at it. And
yeah,
exactly, they're not very good at it, and so they started scrambling. And when you start scrambling like that is when you start to make mistakes. And then from there, you can see how the official narratives are falling apart. If what they were saying was the truth, then there wouldn't really be this desperation that we were seeing out of the RCMP to try and push this story, because it would just be, well, here's the facts, here's the truth. And something they didn't know, they could have just said, well, at the moment, we're not sure, but, you know, we're going to get to the bottom of it. But instead, they tried at every opportunity to try and come up with an explanation that wouldn't add up. So because of that, it was almost like you have a crack in your windshield, and instead of getting it repaired, you just start beating on it with a rock. It's more cracks just started forming in the official support.
Yeah, trying to pound it out from the inside.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's even better example than mine, trying to pound it out from the inside.
Because that's what they were doing. I mean, come on, the premier of the province quit over this.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of people who quit.
There's been a lot of
a lot.
resignations.
Jenga,
Yeah.
and they're still going.
Well, and they
We'll
were
be very
doing those
lucky.
press conferences and they just kept digging themselves deeper. They had to stop because every time they gave a new press conference, we picked it apart, and then they had to have another one. And you know what? They just couldn't keep up with it anymore.
Well, it got me was about the third or fourth press conference, and Leather was up there talking, and he was saying a couple things, and the next thing, his corporal interrupted him.
Yeah. That little
And then
short girl.
that was the last time we seen him. He was gone.
Yeah.
Get somebody else in here. Get somebody else in here now. Yeah. The other thing, remember the very first night, the Sunday night, and even Monday, the press conferences, Leather was scared shitless.
Mhm.
When he was standing there, his demeanor, his face, his everything about him, he was scared shitless.
What are you talking about? Was it
Leather. Yeah.
He looked like he had just been caught by his mother smoking weed for the first time or something like that. Like that was
Yeah.
just his demeanor throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. And with his uncle's penthouse magazines.
There you go.
Yeah.
and I feel bad about picking on people. Maybe he's innocent in all this too, right?
Right.
As he's caught up in the system as well.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's why he's nervous. Like he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. But the thing is that all you have to do is come clean. That's all anybody's ever said. Just come clean.
Yeah.
And somewhere in there, whether it be people down in Nova Scotia, people in the MCC, people in, the RCMP, whatever it is, all you have to do is just say, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of watching all the people hurting. I'm tired of being a part of that. It eats at my conscience. I can't sleep anymore. I don't feel good anymore. The stress. Remember how you used to talk about that, Tara? The stress, what it does prior to all this, what stress did to people.
Yeah.
How it makes them sick, like physically sick.
Causes
I couldn't
diseases,
sleep
cancer.
because I couldn't sleep at nights for the first month of this whole thing because we kept finding stuff. And all of a sudden now your mind starts working. Okay, where are we going to go from here? And what are we going to find next? And well, this is worse than the last stuff we just found out. I mean, it was mentally and physically and emotionally exhausting just to keep finding the stuff that we were finding.
It is.
Like,
And
literally.
who would want to do that to another human being? This is completely illogical. If you're
Like again, I've been in war zones that make more sense than this does.
You don't, I mean, and that's kind of what, I don't know. I want to take the opportunity really to thank, first of all of the people who work so tirelessly, whether it is, you guys. Adrian is like crack investigator.
Oh yeah.
Super
Yeah.
crack. Everybody brings like pieces to this table, and it started small, right? It started with a phone call. That was it. And then the phone call went on. And now, you have lots of people who are working hard. Working hard. And all the people over in the Discord who have been working to I don't even know how to use this. Is this how you do it? Yeah, like all the people over in the Discord working so hard. Well, 2 years that's cost them, whether it's Odeer or TikTok or any, like you can't even pick people because it's just tons of you guys. right?
Moneypenny and NS Blue and Nova Scotia Citizen, and I just keep going. Yes, I mean, again, Tara and you have said it many times, and it needs to be said. Yes, this team is literally hundreds of people, hundreds
Hundreds,
of people, Facebook groups,
and
everything.
it's oh, sorry. See my text here.
You're up.
This person
Yeah.
right here, who
Yep.
we all owe a huge thank you to, as other families who have stood up, who have endured all of this, you know, and if people only knew what these people go through day in and day out, it's unbelievable. And we don't do this to other people. We just don't. Good people don't hurt other people. All you have to do is say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Here's we'll try better next time. Yeah. And I think you should speak to that, Tara. I really do, because your voice is the most important one at the table right here. You and other family members speaking up, and so why don't you share with us, like, where you're at?
There's a few things. There's so many things, but one of them is that I wouldn't want to be an RCMP or a police officer of any kind right now, especially a good one. It's dangerous. And you know, thank you for your service to anyone who is doing it and actually doing what you're supposed to be doing, because it's a huge deal. And I don't know how the other family members feel, but I feel like I can't grieve. I can't get over it, because I don't know what it is, because nobody's looking for the truth except for us guys here. And we don't have any way of making them, whoever they are, tell us what really happened. Because you can't tell me they don't know. They do know. Whoever they are, they know what the truth is, and they're hiding it. And you know, when people say things like they wouldn't have done anything different, or the commissioners sit up at the MCC and, you know, cut witnesses off, or we spend, how many hours did that lady spend talking about a fucking fence pole? I mean, the things that they are telling us, we're finding holes in. So like the stuff that that's public for everybody to know, there's so many gaping holes in those stories that if you can even imagine for a minute the gaping holes in the stories that the part of it that you're not being told, that's the scary thing. And I don't know. I mean, I'm afraid of the RCMP now, and I never used to be. I really didn't. Like, I literally was that guy that, you know, Aaron and I talked about, we used to make fun of people who didn't like the cops. We were like, if you don't like the cops, why? What are you doing? What are you doing that you shouldn't be doing? And, you know, we never had any problems with them. And now when I see them, like, I make sure my car doors are locked. I'm afraid. And it shouldn't be like that. And again, to be an officer right now, oh my God, it's got to be impossible, because they have nobody respects them, and you can't weed out the good ones from the bad ones until it's too late. So I don't even know what can be done. And this commission, I mean, if you guys are watching it, I know a lot of you guys are watching it. It's sick. It's disgusting how they don't ask the hard questions. They don't give the answers that we need. Some of the information is so totally not accurate and doesn't add up, or like Seamus's word, they NASCAR through it. We don't know what time people were killed. We don't know I mean, some of these people, I keep going back to Heather O'Brien. Oh my God. Like, her poor family, at least they know that what happened to her, which is shitty and awful. And when I read that post from Darcy, I cried for like 2 days because I don't even know those people. And to imagine your mom laying there under a blanket while people don't help her. How can these people, how are they allowed to carry guns? How are they allowed to say that there are police? I mean, oh my God, is that what we can expect? If we are victims of shit like that, can we expect to be just left unattended because it's inconvenient, or what? I don't even know what the reason is. And I mean, there's, like you said, Rage, there's so many more questions. Every day that I get more information, I have more questions, and they don't get answered. They don't get answered. I ask questions. I mean, I have so many questions that I have asked and have gotten no answer to, or I hear one story and I question it. So then the hole in the story goes away, and the new story is so vastly different from the old story that it doesn't even make any sense. And when you say, well, how come this, but now this, you don't get any answers, and you get eye rolls and I don't know. Seamus says that, you know, I made this happen, but you guys made this happen. Without you guys, I would be here and I would be alone, and I would be, I don't know. I can't even imagine what would be going on in my life if I had to deal with this without you guys. I mean, Seamus, my God, this guy puts up with so much shit from me and listens to me go on about all this stuff, and he's trying so hard. And I know that you guys are all too. It's just that Seamus is the one who spends the most time on the phone with me. So he knows what I go through on a daily basis. Like, I mean, I was a reasonably happy person before this happened, and now I'm sad and I'm fucking angry all the time because I can handle anything if it's true. I can't handle being lied to. I can't handle the statements that don't make sense, narratives and storylines that don't add up. I don't know how we're supposed to get past it. I don't know how any of us, family members, Nova Scotians, Canadians, or, you know, these first responders, like, I'm sorry, I forget the fire department guy's name the other day when he straight up said these stories don't line up. That was the nicest way for a person to say, you fucking guys are lying. They're fucking lying, and they don't seem to care. They seem to, I don't know who got paid off by who or how much, or is it money? Is it power? Is it blackmail? Like, what would somebody have to do to make you know what's going on and not tell anybody? And like Seamus said, like, this is the kind of shit that causes cancer. This is the kind of shit that causes all sorts of health problems, suicides, all kinds of things, is by you lying. Lying is not okay. I mean, come on, we're not grade 5. Everybody knows this. But you see some of these, like that chick the other day that was talking to Dr. Bose, and she was laughing. She should have been removed immediately. She was laughing and smiling through that whole conversation, and I don't understand how they could just let her sit up there. And I mean, it seems like the people who want to come and tell their story, as long as they didn't really see anything, there's a few people that I know of, and I'm not going to say their name because I don't know if they're cool with it, but I know of people who have actually seen some of the things that happened that day. The commission doesn't want to talk to them. They're asking to be talked to, and the commission doesn't want to talk to them. I mean, it was great that those firefighters and Mr. Ellison got up and spoke the other day. Poor Mr. Ellison. Oh my God, that poor fucking man. But those firefighters and Mr. Ellison were inside trying to not get killed. So there were other people around who saw a lot more than what they saw, but we didn't hear from them, and we probably won't. GPS goes missing. Like, I have a cell phone, and I know that if they want to know where I am, they just track me on my cell phone. So the fact that we can't get GPS, or the radios are bonging out, you can't hear anything. It's not logical. There's so much illogical nonsense going on here that the fact that they can even come to the commission every day with a straight face and put on this performance is astonishing. I mean, people should be getting Oscars for this performance.
But it's so sad is the problem. We lost Adrian. I think he's going to come back. He said, but it's so sad that this is where we collectively as people have gotten to. That you are here breaking your heart in front of people that you don't know, when it doesn't have to be this way.
No.
It's never had to be this way. And it could be any of them at any point in time. And the rewards, whatever they may be, or avoiding having to deal with some responsibility temporarily, are so not worth it. And all they have to do is look at your face. All they have to do is talk to you and know what it's like. That's fucking scary.
That guy's name was Daryl Curry, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm bad with names, but I was so happy that he said that. I wish I could have hugged him, because that, to be in his position and just say that, you can tell that guy's really mad, and I don't blame him. And at least he probably should have said before he said anything that he wasn't suicidal, because we probably should keep an eye on the guy and make sure that nothing happens to him now that he's spoken out. It seems like, and I mean, the problem with it too is there's so little information that your mind wanders. You find the any kind of discrepancy and you're like, why is that? What's going on here? And when you ask the question, you can't get an answer. I mean, there's so many things that happen that we just don't know. And no matter who you ask, we're not going to find out.
I see that O'Dear's got a new video out, and thanks for letting everybody know. She's one of the people who's working tirelessly in the background. Well, not in the background so much, but yes, and does so much. So, I do encourage people to go and check out her stuff,
Yeah.
Because
her videos are awesome.
They're a lot more succinct. So those of you who don't know, not that I'm much of I don't do that kind of stuff, but there are a few videos on this channel.
Oh yeah.
A few that haven't been taken down by they.
I don't know what we're at, 200 and some odd, and that's all to do with Nova Scotia. And though they're long and drawn out, that's collective investigative work, which is done by yay.
Sorry about that. Baby and the dogs were acting up, so I just went to go help the wife real quick. Sorry, I won't be able to stay on too much longer, but yeah, sorry. That's why I had to jump off for a quick second.
Well, I'm just so glad that you could join.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss doing this with you all. I mean, I always enjoy it.
and I haven't been able to do it much over the last year or so. So it's nice to actually be back in the stream with you all.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't.
It's a weird time too. 2 years later, exactly, and it just happened that this was the night I was free. But I don't know how
is
other
it
people.
coincidence?
It was meant to be.
Is it coincidence, Tara? Nothing's coincidence. You just picked this day arbitrarily.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, okay, I can work that out Wednesday. And then I didn't even realize it until today, and I'm like, the 20th. That's 2 years exactly to the day.
Yeah.
Of that first video. That first video, and though I don't update the playlist ever because I'm so technologically garbage. Where is that? Where's that first video? And you go back, and I don't do that. I never do that. But if you do go back and look at some of the early stuff, it's absolutely 100% there.
Yeah.
Where's that?
There's a ton of gold in those first videos. There really is so much information.
These are all to do with it. And it's, some of them's the bigger story about kind of where things are at, because you can speculate about a lot of things, and that's where they lose a lot of people, and then wearing them down. But see, where's this one right here? I started to number them because I'm like, wow, I'll go back and number them, and then we have kind of a record of when things get deleted. Thank goodness Oh Dear keeps track of it. But this video, and I know somebody is going to be screaming in the background about getting, clips.
Wow.
Still want to play clips out of here.
We were so young.
Yeah.
Right.
I had different colored hair, and my beard wasn't quite as gray.
Holy crap, my beard hasn't changed at all.
Yeah.
I
I don't know, and in this video, you're talking about how, listen, something's not right here. Something's not right.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny how much we knew right at the beginning that we didn't know, but we knew. It's that thing where there are no coincidences. It's astonishing where I would be if I didn't have you guys for my friends. Seriously. We were friends, and that's how this happened.
Well, that's the thing. We're good friends. I often wonder where some of these people's friends are going to be when they need them.
Yeah.
If they're willing to cut bait and hurt people, then I wonder if other people will do the same to them.
That's true, because people who do bad stuff because of like blackmail, money, or whatever else there is out there, they're not doing it for anything good. And as soon as that whatever it is doesn't matter anymore, then they will stop doing what you tell them to do.
They're
they are, and you can only hold that shit over somebody's head for so long till they have had enough. Like that Dutch banker who went through all those levels, and then he was like, fuck this shit, I had enough.
Yeah.
And that's bravery, man. That's balls.
Yeah, it is.
To stand up and say, no, you know what? I know this is going to, just like, you guys, just like everybody here, they got radar on you now. Everybody in here. They're watching everybody. It's not tinfoil. They're watching you all. They
And I
watch
bet you
everybody
they have
do it.
our fucking GPS if somebody was to ask.
Oh, they
Well-
certainly do.
I knew coming in when I first joined to start helping and everything and looking for stuff that, you know, they've been watching me for a long time. So it was, I wasn't doing anything different. I wasn't doing anything different, you know.
Were you on the radar before that? Because I
Oh,
met
yeah.
you through this. So yeah.
Yeah. You don't like it when you used to be one of them.
No. Oh yeah. I imagine they don't. And thank you for your service too, because what you do is fucking massive. It's really brave.
Thank you.
But this is what needs to happen. But it takes a lot of balls. Because I mean, there's stories out there. I mean, we know of people who help in the background who, you know, they were on that side of things and then they weren't. And it can go pretty fucking shitty pretty fast.
Yeah.
But we're all stubborn and we all talk a lot. And I'm not much of a researcher, but I have a big mouth and I have a pretty good instincts. That's it, is that I would typically, my instincts would come through and then Seamus would go and find it out and be like, oh yeah, you can see it here. I'm not much of a researcher, but
You are. Because you
I'm
asked the
learning.
questions. You asked the
I
questions.
have a lot of questions.
That's and you do research a lot. Gosh, and that's
try,
the thing.
but-
We all learn from each other, right? Which is so
Yeah.
awesome. The gray cells.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Somebody
And I
was
don't know about you guys. What's that?
Somebody was asking about that earlier, why the channel's named that. And it's Hercule Poirot, Agatha Christie. You know Hercule Poirot?
No.
Oh, why is it nobody knows who Agatha Christie is? You guys know who Agatha
I know
Christie is?
Author, yeah. Poirot is a detective.
It was funny because I found that your channel made a lot more sense after I ended up. I know that there's dozens of stories of Hercule Poirot, but I don't know, a year, maybe 2 years ago or something around there, I ended up watching Murder on the Oriental Express, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Murder on the Oriental Express. And then it made sense why you called your channel that way. Just sort of getting to know the character a lot better, as well as it being, you know, his catchphrase. But just getting to know the character a lot better, I started to understand more about why you named your channel what you did.
Nice.
I always liked him as I used to read books fastidiously, and few people know even that Agatha Christie is the best-selling author of all time. But yeah, I wish I had this sense of style, but maybe not. That'll come in the next lifetime, possibly. Yeah, well, we should watch Odier's video together.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll take my
Let's do
camera
that.
down so you get the bandwidth.
Sorry? Oh, I got bandwidth. Unless they want to boob it. That's up to them. So yeah, the timing for sure is out. I mean, that's why the big stop is really, I'm looking at the big stop, comparing statements and shit, and it's really not working, man. Okay, let's see here. So anybody who's not subscribed to Oh Dear, please do go and subscribe. I've left the channels for Adrian and Gage in there. Also, Steve did have a channel. I don't even know where he's at. I think I have Oh Dear's channel also added on my list. I'm not great with the tech stuff, but let's have a listen and see. Have they got this shared with audio? Probably not. Let's see. Share screen. Share system audio. Okay, there we go. Oops. Yeah, that was something. Sorry, I don't like highlighting comments that have anything with my name in it. Okay, so I think I mute this, and then it's probably. Cage is muted himself. I don't know. Maybe there was audio that didn't come through or something. Is that what happened?
I got no audio on that. I could see what was being played, but I couldn't hear anything.
Was there supposed to be audio?
Because I think there was.
Check and see if you had YouTube muted or not. A lot of time I find that's the problem. If the video itself you had was muted.
Okay. Try again. Well, I just don't want echoes or anything like that. I always get echoes and all kinds of nonsense. Let's try again.
Enfield, big stop. Enfield, big stop. Come on, me. Get to me. Use your cover. Back up. Use your cover. No rush here now. You take comms. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me shoot it.
Dispatch copies.
1022.
You want to?
At 8 o'clock Sunday morning, people who live along.
Do you want a better one? What's a better one? Put a better one up. It's a comment that everybody to Big Stop. I've seen everybody to Big Stop before the shooting happens, and I've seen a second comment that says right before. Can't remember who that is. Also, 11:24. 10 seconds beforehand. I'm like, how would you know that stuff? I need gas.
Did I misunderstand the statement? Because it sounded like the driver of that car, the guy Hughley, was getting out to get gas, and while he was going out to get gas, he recognized the guy in the pump next to him. But is that right? Because from the video, it doesn't look like he's getting out to get gas. It looks like he's getting out and getting his gun all in one movement.
Yep. That's what I think too.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Let's listen to this one is the one, I think. Timing 2.
Oh, timing 2. Okay.
Enfield, big stop. Come on, me. Get to me. Use your cover. Back up. Use your cover. No rush here now. You take comms. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me shoot it.
Dispatch copies.
1022.
I wish there was a group mute or an unmute or whatever. Said it was getting gas. Well, I mean, come on, listen to. I need to get gas. Then I go to the big stop at 11:10 to get gas, but really I meet with the Halifax Regional Police. Don't get gas. Then I go to Shubenacadie, to Elmsdale, to the place where all the police seem to be sitting, interestingly enough. Don't get gas there. Don't get gas across the highway in Elmsdale at the Petro. Then I decide I need to get gas, even though I have half a tank of gas, but I need to go back and get gas from the same gas station that I was just at. Oh, and I just happened, remarkable coincidence, into somebody who was in a car that I don't even know. Come on.
Yeah. No, and the thing is too, when you listen to what's being said and you time it with the video, he had no intention of getting gas. He moved back away after the door was closed to conceal himself using the pump so he could draw his weapon. But he came out. He was calling on the radio to dispatch, Enfield, big stop, all that kind of stuff, and then presenting his weapon. And again, behind him, well, to his right, out in front of the vehicle, you can see the image of McLeod going forward. So McLeod and Hubley were lined up on the vehicle and basically opened fire at the same place at the same time. And that's not what was being said at the MCC. And the MCC was purposely using photographs and still photos and broken video and not playing the video. They didn't show the video. They just, you'll see his hand move, and okay, here you can see the, and it's like, well, okay, not working, but thanks for trying.
And it's just so overwhelming. The non-evidence is so overwhelming. If they took out every video of a cop car driving by where you can't see the driver, but they expect us to believe it's him, and every video where the timing is wrong, there's nothing.
No.
So really, it's like, for me, it's a matter of how much did Gabriel Wortman have to do with it? He was showing his guns off to anybody who would look at them. It seemed like if you knew him at all, he was showing you his guns. So he wasn't worried about the police catching him. And if he was doing it without their knowledge, he would be at least worried, right? If you had a grow show and you wanted to show it to somebody and you were allowed to do it, you wouldn't be worried about it. It doesn't make any sense. He's, telling people that he's getting these guns from police, from relatives. He's getting all this stuff from legitimate sources. He's not worried about getting caught.
Yeah.
And who isn't worried about getting caught? Somebody who's already known to be doing whatever the fuck it is he's doing.
Yeah.
But have they even firmly established that this one person singularly committed all of these homicides?
They haven't established for me even that he was involved, never mind that he did it all. That's ludicrous.
I would love to go down there. I really would.
Shirt. What are you wearing there?
Me?
No, Tara.
You didn't see it? She was showing it off earlier. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I was a little slow on that one.
I would actually love to go down there and really try and attempt to pull this thing off, as far as and having people film it and time it out and everything else, and try different scenarios.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're doing that. I mean, they scenarioed the fire hall. They didn't scenario Shuby. They didn't. Did they re-scenario the anything at Portapic? Does anybody know?
Well, look at the Shuby one.
As far as I know.
Look at the Shuby one that they did, the fucking reenactment for that.
Sorry, I'm actually going to have to take off now.
Are you off?
Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, I got to take off.
All right.
It was good talking to you all again.
And see you.
And let's do it again soon, okay?
Yeah, you bet.
Nice haircut, by the way.
Oh, Thank you. I know.
We'll talk soon.
I look dashing, don't I?
Yes.
You look like a dad.
Well, I'm starting to develop the dad bod, so that's something.
How's your dad jokes? Are you working on the dad jokes?
Yes, they're coming along slowly, but my buddy's going to give me a book of like 100 dad jokes, so I'm going to memorize it. Next time I see you, I'll be knocking out the dad jokes for you.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll take care. Okay.
All right. You
Bye.
too, man. Thanks for
Bye.
coming.
No problem. Again, let's do it again soon.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
He is such an awesome investigator.
He
Oh, man.
really is.
Yeah, he can find stuff that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You just say it. You say something, and next thing you see him, and he brings it up on the screen. It doesn't matter what it is. You want to know? He'll find it.
Yeah.
Am I? Oh, I was just looking to see here that.
That Shuby enactment sucked. I could have done better with Tonka trucks.
But it doesn't make any sense.
No.
You
What
mean
they're
the
saying. I mean, you're driving around all these. Obviously, to begin with, you're driving around all these police all over the province. But what is going on here? Sorry,
They're messing
one
with
moment. Oh my.
What?
Let me just double check this here. Have they dumped a whole piss pile of documents?
Well, probably just to throw more confusion into it.
Oh,
If they wanted an investigation, there'd be a couple hundred documents. When they
That's
want,
right.
they want you to be completely hornswaggled every time you open up your tabs on the computer. They're going to have millions of pages, which is what they have.
That's
Where's
exactly
the-
right.
here we go. The 4D reenactment. Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, just using the gray cells, that's all you have to do. It's just terrible.
It's just horrid. It's a joke. And it doesn't even end up right. I mean, it doesn't even. Again, the one I drew for you on my whiteboard that day is better than what they did, and mine is just a theory. Come on, there's a tree in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
What program are they using?
Banging off curbs. What was the speed again? 70 kilometers an hour or something he was
Yeah.
going?
Yeah.
The first
no.
GPS point? I mean, GPS, it's only functioning sometimes and not. He's down to the 3 minutes, which means he's busy. What was it Lori Ward said in her letter? She said it. Does this make sense? Does that make sense?
No.
You're going to drive. Watch. He's going to drive down the wrong ramp, the longer way. Only
Yeah, and how the hell did he know he was back there?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well-
that's way too far back. He
And
wouldn't
he's
have
only
been
got
sit-
seconds, by the way. He's only got seconds to do that. You turn and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, no.
But it's the problem I'm having with it is right here.
Yeah.
He's gonna, I don't think it's this angle. Yeah, I'm gonna go down the wrong ramp.
Yeah.
Drive in the opposite way of traffic, the longer way.
Yeah.
Only just to ram in. Oh, okay. Now they want to poop my internet.
And when you're trying to get away, are you going to head on into another car if you're trying to get
No.
away? No.
See why they have him sitting over here too, but none of his GPS points, of course. He's all sitting over here.
Yeah.
All of them. Why? Because he's
Sorry,
on the
because
3 minute.
Well, because you would put your vehicle in a place where you have vision, not 30 meters back from the road where you can't see a damn thing.
Well, but they do say that. But then they say, well, he casually turns around and all this other horse shit. Whatever, man. If he did that, then the car would be long gone at 80 kilometers an hour. Isn't it 80 kilometers an hour in that zone?
No.
By the time that Morrison got turned around and everything, it would have been long gone. And he didn't do anything to any police officers before. He is, again, part of the psychological shit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and he doesn't know who's sitting there. You might assume, or potentially it could be that there are 2 officers in there. So why are you going to approach a car like that?
I think using the word perpetrator is, funnily enough, pretty good idea.
Yeah, because it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't specify.
Yeah, well, but use it. They
This
want
is
to weaponize it. They want to weaponize it for one reason. See, this part. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Does that
Yeah.
make any logical sense?
Yeah.
I'm going to go down the wrong way. Here, let's see. I could follow the person that I was shooting. Let's just say.
Exactly.
I could follow the person on the correct path of traffic, which is actually a shorter distance to travel. But no, I'm actually going to go the wrong way, down a ramp that's longer, putting myself at risk of driving into a car. Yeah. Why? And my car ends up with the most amount of damage and Heidi's doesn't, even though I have a push bar on it. That makes sense.
No.
Totally flawed logic.
Well, again, those cars would not have ended up in the position they're in during a head-on collision. That you could study. It would take a lot of different head-on collisions to find one that was even close to where those vehicles ended up with the damage in the places on the vehicle. It just does not. No, it's wrong.
The damage. Steve's in here. Good. You want to join Steve?
He could take my place.
Are you out?
Not that I don't want to do it, but you guys know more about what you're talking about than I do.
Yeah, we need to hear though.
I don't. I think the most important thing is just it's 2 years on. It's a huge thank you to everybody, and we can't quit.
No.
But we just can't, because these people, this is their system. They know how to do it. They are going to wear people down emotionally, fiscally.
The other thing about cars is that they don't catch on fire like those 2 cars did. When cars collide like that, they don't catch on fire typically. And whether or not the video was real, who knows? But they showed that video of the smoke from whatever it was happening so fast, and then that guy running down the highway. Who was that? Where did he go? None of it makes any sense. You can go through every 30-second interval of this entire thing, and none of it fits together. None of it. You could start from Jamie Blair's fucking 911 call and go in 30-second increments all the way through to where they shot whoever that was. And it doesn't fit together. It's to choose your own adventure story.
I was doing the autopsy today, and I don't quite understand how his left arm is being shot in.
And how was he driving? He shot in both arms and he's still driving? I don't care how much adrenaline you have. You're not driving when you're shot.
Sorry, I was meaning the Wortman person.
Oh, I thought you meant Chad Morrison. I'm sorry.
He's shot on the driver's side. How does that happen? How does that happen?
Well, from Heidi.
Well, and doesn't it say
they said nothing hit him except for.
That's what they're saying.
Perhaps
that's what they're saying.
14 bullets, and maybe it might have grazed his head. One.
Come on.
A trained
but it couldn't have
RCMP
grazed
officer.
his head because they said that there was blood coming out of it. Didn't the original story that I remember, and I could be wrong, was that when he was at the gas station, he was pumping gas, and he had a blood coming out of his forehead. And the original cop, I thought the story was that he saw him and went, "Oh, well, that's weird." And now there's blood all inside Gina Goulet's car and stuff
Yeah.
Sorry. You know what I mean? Like the dude got shot in the head and he just kept on going because that happens all the time.
Well, and Hughley didn't have time to look at him and realize, oh, that doesn't look right. And oh, why didn't he take care of that injury? Hughley did not have time for that thought process in the video that we
No,
saw.
he was getting out of his car, reaching for his gun.
Yep.
You can see it in the video. There's no time. He wasn't getting gas. He was getting his gun immediately.
Yep, and Hughley said there was no blood on the shirt. You see, and like,
yeah, sweaty t-shirt. That's right.
Sweaty t-shirt. I did a video this afternoon. Probably some of you guys did see it, some of you guys didn't. And I was talking about the tape down in Elmsdale at the weigh scale.
Yeah.
This shit, we got to start looking down here because I'm telling you, it's unwinding big time. They cut it, right? This is O'Dear noticed it. I noticed a couple of clips. She noticed that it was much more. And the video is 10, they've clipped over 5 minutes out of this video that they show on their website. But if you look, when I was going through and looking at where they were clipping stuff, this was where it got really interesting because the watch, I'll see if I can demonstrate it. So, okay. Oops. Okay, so we're going to see the still of Wortman driving along here. Oh, wait a second. What's going on?
Is that a time-lapse camera?
Shit. Where did I do it? Me and my fucking tech stuff. Back here. No, that's Fisher. One moment. Okay, so if you watch, right? First they showed us the still right there. Hold on a second. There's the white car, interestingly enough, again. Oh no. Okay, so here's what they showed us a still of that Campbell's like. If you watch the next video, you can see this is him down at the weigh scale. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so watch the car. Okay, so it's going to move up. It's going to move up. Now we've got the white car. Then we're going to have 2 more cars following it. Okay, just a second here. It's important. Okay. Now follow the cars. Okay, so here's the SUV. Here's the car that was behind it, car number 4, car number 3. They're going to be turning right. Okay, what's over here? Top, you can see the portion is the supposed Wortman vehicle and the white car behind it, right? Now watch where it goes, because you should see it turn left and go across the bridge, right?
Yeah.
The problem is that they clip it. He'll sit there for a little bit. Cars will go by. You will not see him drive across the bridge.
Huh.
Uh-oh.
But
Kinda
you will
tough to
see
get in
something else. This is key. Where it comes back. Oh. If I could only drive. Let's see. There we go. Okay. What over there?
Oh yes, the mobile fucking station.
No, right here. This.
Oh.
I don't know.
Waiting. Which wasn't there just a second ago. See?
Wow.
Boom. What happens now? Take that out. Take out the zoom. Watch. So now you're seeing it. That was what they cut out. Because you would follow the car across and see. I maintain that this car is the Wortman car. Right? Okay, now continuing. And you can watch the time in the corner. Okay, who's this right here? Who is that? That's Hubley. See?
It is too. Yep.
Okay,
Whoa.
now watch the car over in the top. Watch this car up here. This one.
Yeah.
The one I zoomed in
Okay.
the one. Okay. Hubley. You're going to see some more RCMP come up because they were all over in Elmsdale. Okay, watch him.
He's going over the bridge. Oh, there's another one.
Yeah.
Going over the bridge. Going over the bridge. There he is, right?
Yeah.
Hubley. You see him?
Yeah.
Okay. The car's still sitting there, and it's sitting there for a while because they took out the clip. Watch what happens.
And then he goes.
Hopefully I can drive this. See? Uh-oh.
Jesus
Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. The Wortman car, if that is the Wortman car, followed Hubley to the gas station. How does that work? Oh no.
Wow. And yes, okay. So that white truck across the bridge.
Well, watch it too.
That does look like the investigation unit truck, and it never moved.
Yeah.
It is. I went through this in the video this morning.
Okay. Yeah, I missed a lot of your show this morning with the chores and the snow and everything.
Where is
That
it?
thing never
Here.
moves.
Right here. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Remember that Halifax ERT team is down there?
Yeah.
Hubley and them are meeting with them at 11:10.
Yep.
Not
There it is.
getting the gas that they supposedly needed. Didn't get the gas at the two gas stations up in Elmsdale that they were right at where the TAV refilled. But
Well,
if you go further in the video, see, it'll
Yeah.
disappear. Watch the white truck. Boom, boom. It'll disappear. Look at all the RCMP going in.
Yeah.
From
Well, that's
Elmsdale.
what the one witness said. It was like
Yeah.
he said he at least 50 police vehicles on that highway,
Oh,
all converging.
okay. So just a plausible theory was Elmsdale, and that's why they never wanted to mention. Remember, I would bitch and whine about the craft brewery or craft brew thing or chill brew or whatever the fuck it is over in Elmsdale.
Yeah.
The one article that mentioned it out of Chronicle Herald, I went through it this morning, and they would never mention it. I would go on about that, and I would go on about the Petro. Finally, they admitted the Petro. Finally, they admitted it. Finally, they came out and said, "Oh, we have a tape." Paul says he has a tape, and then the CERT's like, "Oh yeah, we have the tape. Oh yeah, we just didn't think it was relevant," but never would discuss Sobeys, right? But what if Sobeys was a staging point for this?
Yeah.
For the big stop where they all just happen to go in right away.
Well, why else did they get all the staff at the Sobeys to get in the building and get away and blah blah? They got them all out of sight, out of mind too. Why? Right? If there's nothing going on there. because they didn't want them witnessing how many freaking the parking lot was turning into a an RCMP.
How about this other clip? Because there's a few of them, and I've only been able to figure out two. Green Bastard was helping me with this the other night. Okay, so I have my markers in the wrong place because I was trying to cut a video, which I can never complete anymore. I can't do videos anymore, sadly. Okay, here's all the RCMP going through. Just watch the last clip point here. 1040. 1040, 58, I think. Let's see. 1038, 57. Okay. 58, 59, 1040, 55. Who's that? Just standing in the middle of the road. The helicopter. Drop him off. The one that landed in the field. Oh. Got a lot of answers, man, to come up with. And if that tape over there is true, that was the workman vehicle, what the fuck? Same as she's telling people, oh, there's only one clip here. I found a second one down at the Big Stop tape where they, of course, don't put it on the website, that there's 3 seconds missing. 2 clip points. But if you don't watch for it really carefully, because it's just small, it's in the corner, and the cameras don't match up because they're different times, and it's just a mistake. I'm like, whatever, man. Okay, anyway, Tara's burning out, so we should shut her down. And it looks like,
You guys keep going, yeah.
It looks like you're
late for you.
Yeah, it's
all for you.
It's a lot.
I'm sorry,
Thanks,
I didn't mean to upset you.
No, you didn't do this. You've done nothing but help. I just can only take so much of it because it's all lies.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with lies. I can handle the truth, but lies, what do you do with it? Right? There's no court, there's no law, there's no investigators besides us. What can we do? We can point out what they did, but nobody's getting punished. Nobody's going to be accountable. There's people in the background who have lost their jobs, but we're not going to hear from witnesses on the commission who are going to come out and tell us what happened. We can't make anybody tell us what happened.
People get out in the street, people start screaming, people start hollering.
Yeah. But then people get arrested, right? You're not allowed to get out on the street and holler.
Facebooking, doing whatever. That's the way it's going to get done. And Patriot's right. We will get this. We've come so far in 2 years. We will continue to go because we're that strong.
And I know that. It's just it's so many lies. It's so much to even process.
Yes. One thing I could always hold on to in life was like honesty. That was the one thing I always respected. Is if somebody told the truth. And we're all human, make mistakes, but come on, this one, they've gone way too far.
Again, I said to you on the phone the other day, I've never experienced anything in my life close to this. Again, I've been to all these places around the world, some bad places. and I've seen a few things, and nothing comes anywhere close to the entire 13 hours, let alone the cover-up since. Like, not even close.
Yeah.
And one day,
Right?
sorry.
So much worse. It's so much worse because of the cover-up.
Yeah.
Like, we could be healing from this, but we're not. We can't heal from it because we're not allowed. If
One
it
day
was
the
just
truth-
some fucking, what's that?
Sorry to interrupt.
If it was a crazy guy who got mad at his girlfriend, if this was a real thing, we would get over it. We would have to.
Well, because only a couple of people would have died. People still would have died. He still would have done stupid
Yes.
shit.
Yep,
Okay.
that's right.
But not this.
No.
Not 23 people over 16 scenes, 150 kilometers an hour of just straight line travel, not even including all the buzzing around in every different place. And then again, all this blue on blue. What happened to the police officer that was transported by the helicopter that had a bullet hole in the foot? Not a peep about that. We're lucky we even know about Morrison.
Yep. Yeah.
Took us almost a
And
year to
there's
find out about McDonald.
Yeah. There's so much more even. And the fact of how long it's taken for some of this stuff to come out, and they're still talking about, we're still working on it. We're still building a narrative.
Yeah,
Yes,
still
you
building
are.
bullshit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Building
what
back a
gets me.
better
is-
story.
They haven't
Yeah.
proven anything.
They are.
They haven't proven anything other than that they're dishonest. They haven't proven
Yeah.
anything in my eyes.
No.
Nothing. Nothing. Not anything.
No.
Not their narrative, not Solo, not Car, not nothing. Nothing.
Nothing. There's
But they have
nothing.
proven that they're dishonest, that they do cover up, that they seemingly have no conscience, that they will spend all of our money doing it. They will traumatize everybody and anybody who gets in their way.
Yeah.
Most of all, family members like Tara cost everybody all this time running around picking up their lies just so that they can not face the truth.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that
they've had it.
When you consider how big this would have to be in order, right? If you and I, let's say, Seamus, the rumor is we're dating. So let's say we're dating and we have a fight and you go on a fucking shooting spree over that amount of time, like you're getting hung. Like it's not, I don't know, none of it makes any sense. Nobody's getting away with that for that amount of time. It does the level, the depth and breadth of this for the size of the cover up is more than you can imagine. And it's more, I think, than your human brain is. Not your human. We're not human. We're men and women.
Yeah.
More than men and women are designed to take.
Yep.
I mean, you have to wonder what it's doing to the minds of the humans who are part of it, because those are not men and women. Those are abominations. Men and women don't do things like this.
The war room down in Ottawa, which was started right at the beginning. At the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, started at the very beginning on this Sunday when one RCMP officer told me that it was likely that my family was evacuated. Right away, he said that to me. Before lunch, it was likely that they were evacuated. So I waited around waiting to hear where they were because he told me that.
And they hadn't
Really?
even that scene hadn't even yet.
No, there was
they-
going to be. This was before lunch. They didn't even come to their place until 4:30.
but they had fired up the what is it? What did I have done? Oh yeah. This has to be one of the spookiest and scariest pictures of all. Where is that? Give me one moment. Is it? This one. This picture. Oh no.
What the fuck?
That's from the virtual vigil. They fired this up. I have it on tape. I played it before. There's people missing.
Well, yeah, there's only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16.
16. Yeah.
16 people, but there are people, obviously you couldn't account for people that had
Well,
lived
yeah,
through
because
it,
Goulet's there.
who had been through a fire, right? But some of them are there. But you can put in the people, who
Right? How are Aaron and Emily and
Can you do
Julie
that one
there
more
with
time?
the
You mind just can you just pull it up one more time? Okay.
Just the
and you
bonds
can
are
I've proven it because I have the other receipts.
Corey Ellison is there, but Joey's not.
Joey's not. Lillian's not.
Right?
How can you not have Lillian there?
Yeah.
Oh, and
that's not a
okay.
hard one.
What the hell? Oh, and the Zoll and Thompson, they're not there.
This is from Global. If you watch the Global one, they probably are going to fix it. Maybe they already have. But
Was that the day of? Was that on the Sunday?
Let's see here. You can prove it because this person was the producer of the Nova Scotia Remembers, tweeting about it April 20th.
Oh.
Meaning they'd already fired it up, but hadn't even identified the people who were dead.
Wow. Boy, they really came up with that logo and everything really fast, didn't they?
But people weren't even identified. Family members didn't even know.
No.
You didn't even know, I don't think, by
No.
this point. What the fuck are you doing? Their PR campaign, war room, right away.
Wow.
Problems. Some people are going to eat some serious shit pie, and they better get out of the way fast and say,
well, we better probably
sorry.
take the opportunity to say that we're not suicidal or homicidal right now because, right?
Yeah.
None of us are. None of us are.
I'm not even kidding. It's not a joke. It's like when I say there's too much fluoride in the water, I'm not kidding. Like, I am not suicidal. I am not homicidal. So if anything happens to me, please look into it.
Okay, Steve's just getting home now.
Same thing. No, I don't bear any malice or hatred towards people. I just want people to tell the truth.
Yeah.
So that you can go to sleep at night and not dream. And you know what I'm talking about.
Did you send the link to Steve? He just got home just now. The StreamYard link?
No.
Okay, fire that off to him. Okay, so something we haven't talked about for a while, at least I and they're definitely not talking about it in the MCC, is the properties at Portapique and where some of the ownership went and how fast that happened.
Don't even get me started.
Well, it's kind of freaky when you get that tidbit of information and you put all this other stuff together.
Okay.
Like, I don't know the details of the different properties that are now owned by
People who work for the government.
Oh, a
Yeah.
piece of that community is very, very interesting. One
Oh yeah.
section of Portapique is very interesting.
not just work for the
Very.
government, actual government owned or taken over.
Is that right, eh?
Yeah.
There's people down there, yeah, that I would have some serious questions about in terms of. It's an interesting road.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, that's
there's a lot
again,
of
that's,
connections
it's
there. You have to
speculative.
work.
It's speculative, but there's so much there that isn't speculative. Stuff that you can just prove. Just prove.
Yeah.
Use their videos, use their own evidence against them.
Yeah.
Don't get mired down in the swamp that they want people to get lost in, which is tons of it is disinformation that they've been piping in every which way from Sunday. Dara is so right. Human brains are not supposed to. That's traumatic. I used to speak about that at the beginning of this, before all this shit. It was trauma. That's trauma. Way before this stuff started. Constantly inducing it on us. Oh, everything's falling apart. Everybody's breaking. There's mass shootings everywhere. Kids are getting taught all kinds of crap. Why do you want to do that to people? All you have to do is just be good people, which people are most people.
I
Shame.
hope
Shame's
so.
gonna come back. Shame is gonna fucking come back.
Shame needs to come back. People need
Yep.
to be shamed and they need to be held accountable, and people need to point at them and call them fucking out.
Yep.
Right? It's ridiculous the things that people do now that back in the day you would be shamed by your peers for doing it, and now when you shame someone for doing it, you get the shame. Like our laws and our rules are designed for the people to lie.
Yeah.
They
But
really
that's
are.
falling apart now. That's falling apart now. People are no longer duped by the stupidness. They're not.
Yeah,
They know
I
in
hope
their
so.
heart what is right. They've had enough. They've had enough, just, I would say, in general, period, all over the place. They've just had enough.
I hope so.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I know I've had enough. I ran out of I had big gaping holes in my filter before this fucking shit came about, and now it's that the holes are gone and it's all dissolved. It's so hard to not talk. It's so hard. And you shouldn't have to keep anything a secret during a public inquiry.
They want you out of the picture. They want you.
Oh, they want me out so bad. They really like that. The level of, if it wasn't for you, Seamus, telling me that that's what they want, and I know that that's what they want, I would have said fuck it a long time ago. But I'm not going to, because that's exactly what they want. Because if I stop talking and we stop talking, then they get what they want, and this is done.
Yep.
And that can't happen.
And they've
It
absolutely tried to bury both you and I. Is fucking ridiculous, and you can see it. I've seen it back since summer 2020. I'm like, oh, this is very interesting. People who are like, oh yeah, I like to what you're doing, but then they never tell anybody and stuff. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't you tell people? Why wouldn't you say, hey, come check this guy out, or check these people out? Check these people out. I'm part of their team. I'm part of their team.
Yeah.
I want you to join the team too, because we're all on the same team.
Because we're all working together. That's what the original image, that vision, when you come together, you imagine that all of us are going to all come together and we're going to all speak up, and all the families are going to be working as one and here on the live shows and talking about what they know.
Yeah.
Where is everybody?
You have the answer to that question, then you probably got a lot of it solved.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's and I mean, anybody who's from Nova Scotia, I do say this a lot, but it's true. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You could go skinny dipping at night by yourself on a Friday night at 4:00 in the morning, and by Monday at school, everybody fucking knows. So how is this, right? You know this.
Yeah.
It's a true thing. It doesn't matter what you do in Nova Scotia. If you're by yourself, somebody's watching you. So how this can be pulled off, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like Seamus, you said before too, like, how is it that nobody's gotten drunk at a party and been like, yo,
yeah,
this is what I know, right? How is it that with all the drugs that people do here, somebody hasn't spilled their fucking guts? Or maybe they have. I mean, it seems like there's a few people who are no longer alive. Hey,
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, but yeah, I'm glad to be here. Let's just put it that way.
Welcome.
Right on.
Nice. I'm glad you're here too.
I was out buying chicken feed all night, so.
Chicken feed or chicken feet?
Yeah. Feed, as in I'm getting chickens.
Wicked. That's awesome.
Well, Tara's got lots of knowledge on chickens.
So is somebody doing the brooding? Are you hatching them, or
you might have to teach me then?
Are you getting them ready to go outside, or do you have to raise them up from chicks?
No, they're already going to be they're ready to go outside. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Like right now is a pretty interesting time to be buying chickens.
Oh.
Yeah, well the guy that we get them from, he's like, I think out towards like Red Deer area. But apparently you can't transport chickens on Highway 2 right now. There's a ban because of the whole avian flu thing.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to take Highway 21 the whole way.
Now remember, Dr. Tam told us that. Dr. Tam told us when the whole Couth thing started, if you ride a motorcycle or drive a convertible car, you may be a super spreader.
Yeah.
So.
Super spreading fast.
And he was right. Now you got the avian flu on Highway 2, so stay away from Highway 2.
Sweet.
Yeah, apparently. The RCMP apparently have the highway blocked off or something too.
Seriously.
They're going through vehicles?
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what this guy who's picking our chickens up told us. So
looking for chickens? Or looking for
I think towards
stuff?
like Red Deer area.
They must have got information. Oh, you know why? This weekend coming up is the Odds and Unusual sale.
The who?
What's that?
Odds and Unusual. It's a sale they have at Farmers Market. It's in Red Deer, and it's everything agricultural as far as small animals and birds. And it's everything from regular stock that you see on farms to exotics. And they call it the Odds and Unusuals.
Interesting.
Cool.
And yeah, it's a real deal. So
that sounds like a fun time.
So
good.
yeah,
That's so
But
funny.
by the way, it's good to see that Grizzly Adams does have a beard.
What? Did I miss something? I didn't hear.
No, you didn't miss anything.
You're reading the chat. That's why
Yeah.
I have to not look
I
at
can
the
only.
chat
I
because
can't walk and chew gum. I can't.
I know.
I can't. I can't. I'm just but one fallible, extremely fallible human being. What was it? Now I'm missing something.
No,
I
you
don't
didn't.
like missing things.
I was just
You're gonna
talking
keep
about
me
your
up.
beard.
My beard.
Yeah, your beautiful beard.
What's wrong with it?
Look at your beautiful beard.
No, you know what? I shaved mine down. It actually was as long as Seamus's, like probably 3 weeks ago, but I shaved it right off.
Yeah, you had a
Funny.
long beard for a long time.
Yeah.
Not it's not quite. It was never quite as Adrian's beard. I think was the king of beards.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For
that's
sure.
great.
I was actually wishing I could have got here in time to say hi to him because, yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I'm laughing at this this show that you guys are having because all I can think of is the avian flu. So you're not allowed on Highway 2. But all of these other people with all these other birds are going on all the other roads where apparently the avian flu isn't yet, but I'm guessing will be by the end of the weekend. And they're all going to congregate with their birds at the end of the travels. So
Yeah.
why can't they just take the fucking highway?
Well, I hate to give the RCMP ideas because I know how they do their job. But the reason they've got Highway 2 blocked off is so that everybody's taking all the other out highways, so that now we're getting the whole province covered. We're not
Right.
missing, not missing a
the
road.
bird flu everywhere. Exactly.
Yeah.
It sounds like the way they would operate, to be honest.
Yeah, not a
It
Jason
really
Kenney move
does.
whatsoever. Yeah.
Maximum
What
saturation
is the worst
of the
possible thing that we could do to people? That's what
Yeah.
we're going to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing next. Yeah.
More trauma.
Hey, I had a question. I caught glimpses. You were showing those videos, like the what were those? Not cartoon, but like the police sketches, the models of like the driving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What are like those are RCMP made? So that's like their
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
Wasn't
It's
in that
1994
wasn't Morrison
technology.
going
It would be
the wrong
nice.
direction?
Come on, that program came out in 1994, and it still looks good
Yeah.
today. So
But wasn't Morrison going the wrong direction when he like they show Wortman pulling up and
yeah,
then they show Morrison leaving, but doesn't he turn the wrong way? He's supposed to
No.
go to the ambulance place. Isn't that left?
He-
That would be a right turn for him.
had
No,
he
he
gone
went
to
the
the
right
closest one, yes,
okay.
he would have turned right, but he turned left and went to one that was miles away.
No, he went to the correct place.
But it was left, a left-hand turn to go to that
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, his GPS logs are something to behold.
Is there
come on.
damage on the guardrails there? Because it shows in that video he's hitting the guardrails.
Yeah, they're saying there is. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know how that quite explains the damage to the upper fender part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Or-
don't
and
think those
the back
guardrails are
corner
down
too, right?
that high or up that high. Sorry.
Wasn't it the back corner too on the driver's side?
Wasn't
there?
Well, I know
something-
they cropped the picture originally. I remember tracking that down.
yeah.
Where was that?
Well, I was just gonna say even their video game shit isn't right. So go figure.
Yeah.
They can't even program it to be right.
No.
No, it's pretty scary.
It should be embarrassing.
Not sure how the guardrail's doing damage up here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I
the
never
front.
quite get that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the back is where the bullet holes or something were, right?
I don't see any. Oh, okay. Back window, just below the back window.
you see what the
Wow,
press,
are you the worst shot in history?
but this is what the press showed. Something like this.
The
They cut
hell?
out that first part.
back window shot out, like the back door.
Yeah.
Well, who was sitting in the back seat that he had to shoot at then?
And you can see the glass on the other side is shattered too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Lisa was in there.
Speculative.
Well, I mean,
That's all
at
we
this point-
have.
Well,
we have nothing but questions and everything's on the table. 'cause
That's
we don't have any
true.
answers.
That's true. But I mean, it's simpler things like how the hell do you damage the upper end of the fender? Because you know that guardrails don't go that high.
Yeah.
With his speed, which is on his GPS records, which are only working sometimes every 3 minutes. But
You'd
then
expect the
sometimes-
damage that high if it was like a sedan, not an SUV.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, clean cars, don't you know? Flying through trees.
Right, that too.
Yeah, that's brilliant. They just position car washes every so often throughout this situation.
Yeah.
Oh, none of it makes any sense. The Chad Morrison thing that the other day from the commission. Nice sweater, Steve.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fancy.
Yeah. It still looks good as the day I got it. I can't carry this.
I'm
thing like
happy
it's
with those
like a
sweaters.
baby.
Yeah. I'm rough with mine because that's just my personality. But I have a couple and I really like them. I think those guys did a really good job.
They did
You have a pink one.
I do have a pink one.
I'm feeling
A
gender
pink
bender.
one?
I want a pink one.
I could
And
probably
maybe you'd
get
be
you.
able to apply for some grants,
Yeah,
Right.
that's right. Get you some government paid for boobies.
Okay. Now it's going downhill. This is
What did you
almost as bad
expect?
as bathroom talk here.
Yeah, we know how much you like that.
That book has been in the bathroom.
Oh, Cheryl says she loves her sweater and t-shirt.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, those
Me too.
sweatshirts, they're nice and warm, and
They are actually, very warm.
they're I'm sure
Yeah.
they're a collector's item. They're absolutely a collector's item.
I still want to make the trip, Seamus, me and you, and go get them signed by everyone.
Well, like I said, I don't think
You
for
should
Tom
come
and
to the
Brad-
commission. You guys should bring
Yeah.
your sweaters to the Mass Casualty Commission and get them all signed by the commissioners.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do autograph sessions. They don't do press conferences
Right?
unless it's previously announced.
Right. And I
Yeah,
would
I caught
imagine
a few of those
if they-
videos. Is everyone happy so far with the way defense, I guess, is handling it? Defense's team.
Yeah.
They're getting the questions out, but they're not being answered.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. I know Seamus will talk more on that probably at another date.
No, I'm reserving. There's a lot of opinions I reserve.
Yeah.
I just try and keep with the people. People will see their own stuff, so I don't need to share.
Yeah. I didn't see enough of the ones that you were streaming. I saw like 2 or 3 of them, I think. But
Does that
The one-
bridge have a higher guardrail on it than the regular guardrails? You know,
I
some
think it
bridges-
does. Yeah. I think
Well,
it
the
does.
bridge-
If it does it not have cement that you would hit a cement curb before you get to the guardrail?
The bridge does,
Oh.
but not the guardrail.
Yeah.
And they say he hits the guardrails twice. At
Because I
low
didn't see
speed.
damage on the wheels either. You got
No.
that picture? You got that picture again?
no, the wheels didn't even. Well, unless it's
And
not
look at
spot-
the bottom of the door, the gray section that has the door bumper. That doesn't look damaged. None of the lower creases be underneath the RCMP logo or the Canada logo. None of those are damaged. It's all up high. Like you said, higher than it should be for a guardrail.
Yep.
Almost looks like
Well,
somebody
again,
fixed it.
how long back ago was that pointed out? This shit is super old. One day somebody will do like a fucking chronology.
Yeah.
The receipts are there. The receipts are there.
This has always been something I've used to tell other people, like how messed up the RCMP is. You just point out like 2 or 3 things. You don't even have to tell them half of it. You just point out like I usually point at the kids because that one's like a huge fumble that everyone can kind of just agree right away that like, yeah, that's something you shouldn't have done. Period.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Those poor kids. Oh my God.
I couldn't imagine.
No. And I mean, and Clinton Ellison, I always think about him like that guy hiding in the woods for all like holy fucking shit. You find your brother and then you're chased by you don't even know who.
Yeah. And to hear all that gunfire and everything else, everything going on around you, the whole bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's so bad. The other night, I heard some bangs out at my acreage here, and honestly, the first thought that came to my mind was all this. I'm like, that's how triggered I am from looking at all of this now. That when I hear loud bangs and I'm out at night, I am triggered and think of this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vehicles were destroyed. Why do you destroy Morrison's vehicle? What the hell is wrong with it?
Yeah, really. Like, couldn't you auction that off and recoup some of our taxpayer money?
No, somebody told me that just they would repair it normally. That would be procedure to repair it normally and send it off to a different part of the country. Nobody would know different.
Yeah,
my brother-in-law works at a car dealership, and to be honest, they have RCMP vehicles in there literally all the time. All the time, they're fixing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the shooting or whatever, they'll fix it and they'll send it back out just to a different part of the country. So why would you destroy it?
They have more fender benders than you know about, like all cop cars do.
It is destroyed. It was destroyed. It says it in the papers. They destroyed Heidi's car and they destroyed this one. But again, there's a paper trail for that. All this stuff has got to have a paper trail if you want to destroy evidence.
And that's just it. Didn't they crush Gina Goulet's car too?
That was what I heard. Yep.
Yeah, Gina Goulet's, but not Heather's.
Pretty much everything that somebody has touched in the story, it seems like.
Yeah. And then I noticed
whatever happened to Joey's?
That person who sent me the moratorium at the originally.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever that is, and I'm sure they're watching in the background because that's an internal memo. That was a serious undoing for the RCMP.
Yeah. True.
That is a huge deal, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but you would think that things were going according on the right path. Then somebody at the MCC would have mentioned that moratorium. If they were really trying to find out the truth, wouldn't it be mentioned somewhere?
I mean, it was just mentioned in the chat about Morrison burying his C8 rifle behind the ambulance thing. Okay, if you've been shot, your first thought is if you're actually getting to an ambulance station or a medic, you're not running around doing extra work before you get the bullet holes fixed. It's just not in your mind.
No. No.
It's like,
absolutely.
Hey, I'm leaking. Can you help?
No, let's hide this weapon first.
Without my yellow stripe on my pants.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm the good guy.
Yeah.
I'm the good
I'm a
guy.
good guy. I'm a good guy. Okay. GPS logs. Minutes later. Oh, seconds later.
There's so much wrong with that clip.
Yep. Yep.
We gotta, you know what we really should? Get all this stuff together and just have the commission send all this shit down to Hollywood so they can fix it and make it make sense. So
Make
that
it make
when they
sense.
present
Yeah.
it,
Write a new script because the one that
write
sees
it, a script. Yes, like give it to that Spielberg fellow and see if he can do something with it to make it believable.
That war room in Ottawa is not. It can't keep up.
No.
Yeah.
It never was able to. Too many
Well,
gray cells in the room.
There's a lot of idiots that work in our government.
I'm not
all
going to
the
say.
idiots were.
Sorry, I'll say it. They're idiots. They're
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like they take the idiots from the population and they put them in government on purpose.
Yeah.
Because you get the same blank stare from everyone in government when you ask them a logical question. They all look at you like you're a fucking idiot, and you're just like, dude, it's A plus B equals C. If you can't see it, now I know why you're in government. They all have that same stare. You know what I mean?
I think just weaponize the emotions. That's it. Shame. Shame. Shame on you. Wait till it's your family.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Sit down in a room with Tara. Sit down in the family with any of the family members.
Yeah.
That's a what is it they call it? Round table or witness panel. I'd love them to just sit around and
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be
Bring
good.
in
That
all
would
the
be good to see.
family members. That would, yeah. Actually,
Right.
that's probably not a bad suggestion for our lawyers.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys aren't going to bring in witnesses who actually saw what was going on or ask any of the hard questions, bring in the family members and let us tell you what we see.
Mm-hmm.
Are
Oh,
you
yeah,
are you
you're scared of
slagging
that.
on me? I don't get what that comment's about. People did
What?
have people did everybody in this story were kids once. Then they lost their weight. That's true.
That is
They
true.
lost their honesty.
Yeah.
They lost their dignity.
Reality.
They're shameful. Shameful human beings.
They lost their human essence.
Yeah.
Well, they are human. If you look at the legal, I'm learning all about like legal verbiage, and human means like, human is an abomination. We are men and women. We are not human. We are mankind, not humankind.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. What's that?
No, I said, ain't that the truth?
Yeah, it is true. It's all about verbiage. It's got to do with lawful. I don't even know enough about it to tell you, but it's all verbiage, and they trick you into. It's like when the police pull you over and say, "Why are you parked here?" You say, "I'm not parked. I'm stopped." They can't give you a stopping ticket, but they can give you a parking ticket. It's all verbiage.
Yeah.
It's just so fucked, and they use what we don't know against us.
That is true.
It's not an insult. That's the truth. I speak truth. Shameful. Disgusting individuals. Disgusting. That's not shameful. Or that's not a shot. That's truthful. Anybody who would hurt another human being is disgusting.
Mhm.
And not own it.
Yeah. Yeah, the only way you can change your behavior is if you actually feel that it needs to be changed.
But that organization,
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Fucking right. He knows
that
what I'm talking
organization
about.
will never change, though. I mean, they've shown what happens when you try and do things that are the right thing to do. People always get penalized. They get basically kicked out of the force,
Yeah,
ostracized.
that's true.
Yeah.
But there's
there's
more
no
and more of them
incentive.
every day, and they're banding together, and they're just like, I've had enough of this shit. I don't want to
I don't think
I don't want to be working in a place that I'm afraid or anything like that, like of being treated like crap. And
That's true.
what's going to
Actually, I've
happen to
noticed.
me if I speak up and I open my mouth about stuff? Look at all the women now. Again, back is the sexual stuff again.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck are they doing over there? You set up fake psychiatrists? Or are you fucking psychologists? Are you out of your mind?
Nothing is changing though within the RCMP. Policing needs to be a community thing. Policing needs to be on a small scale, just like the rest of government. It needs to be. I don't need to be governed because I'm a fucking adult. I'm a grown adult, and unless I'm committing an actual crime where I'm hurting somebody, then mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I would be a lot better if I am somebody who's going to be doing criminal activity. I'm less likely to do it if I know that the police officer is the guy I went to fucking elementary school with. Right? That it's the shame thing, right? You don't want to look like the fucking douchebag in front of all of your peers who you've known your whole life, and you know their mom and they know your family. But when you bring in, this big RCMP conglomeration, whatever the word is, from all across the country of people who are doing bad shit too, and they move over here, they don't care about us. They don't even know who we are.
Yeah.
Everything needs to be local.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Well, and again, even back in the 70s and 80s, you played hockey with the local police. When even RCMP in the small towns, you played hockey with them.
That's right.
You went to school with their kids. You played baseball with them this summer. They you always saw them at the local things going on. That all went away.
Exactly.
That all went away.
Well, they don't even station the RCMP in their own hometowns anymore. Like you
Well,
have
they
to
never
work
did.
for
They did a test program in the 80s where they sent some officers back to their home areas.
Yep.
And that didn't last very long. And then they went back to just like you say, they usually, a lot of times you'll get your own province, but normally you don't. You get moved away.
But
they move you up to fucking Fort St. John or something like that.
It's what the RCMP represents beyond this country that's really fucked up. Or within this country that's running intel ops all the time on its own citizens. What are you doing? People have no idea what the hell is going on. It is fucking scary. That's not a police organization, it's a paramilitary organization.
It is, actually. That's the actual term for it.
Yep.
Well,
That's what it is.
If you think about why they're so heavily used, though, it kind of makes sense. The government would have an easier time using the RCMP for their operations than they would with the military, because usually the military knows this shit is wrong. The guys just flat up say no.
Well, not only that, there's a big difference in pensions. The RCMP guy is willing to, okay, I'll turn the other cheek a little harder because their pension is pretty freaking impressive compared to the military.
Really?
But yeah, didn't they have military involvement in this too? So that does also lend to say that they seem to work hand in hand at the same time.
I think they attempted to get a helicopter off the RCMP, but
and I think they had a few trucks or something too. From army trucks.
I mean, Bob Paulson said it so well. There is no other organization in the world that is like the RCMP. None. It is the FBI. It is the CIA. It is the state troopers. It is the local police.
Yeah.
He who got kicked out kicked out of the military and essentially court-martialed, lied on his application to the RCMP, got busted in it, and somehow becomes commissioner and still pulls strings in the background. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he brags about it. I played that episode of It was at CNBC, I think, or something down in the States. And he talks about it. He brags about it. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, I'm really proud. I lied and I got kicked out of the military.
O'Dear says they had military after all was done.
Yep. There was a lot of military down there. Military heavy involvement. Tents set up out in the field.
Yeah, that's right.
How many people down in that part of that one road? Lots of military too. Lots of RCMP, lots of military.
A ton of military. Yep. It seemed like everybody was down there, part of the military, the Navy. There's a lot of weird shit goes on in Nova Scotia because I think that people think that we're just dumb fishermen, and it's a really good place to hide a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot of shit that goes on here, and I know it's conspiracy theory or whatever, but we have a fuck ton of Masons. Like high level Masons is a normal thing. I didn't know the Masons was like a big deal until I left Nova Scotia, because here everyone's a fucking Mason. My grandpa was 32 degree. My neighbor was, 32. And everybody I know, they went to lodge 4 nights a week, and it's just a thing. So it might be conspiracy theory or not, but it's all connected. My grandpa was high level Mason, Shriners, Navy. Aaron's dad was Navy. People on that road. There's some people on that road to this day who I would like to have an answer to whether or not they are connected to, armed forces of whatever type. It would be nice to know because, you have theories based on their behavior.
Don't worry, they won't talk.
No.
Don't have to.
And that's the thing. It's a lot of the questions you don't get answered, then that's your answer.
That is your answer. You don't want to answer? That's an answer.
That's your answer.
Yeah.
Has anyone talked to Charlene at all lately? Does anyone know how she's doing?
I talked to Charlene. She's a strong girl, man. She's really smart.
That's good.
But I mean, it's hard. For some reason, it's been from the family members that I do talk to, including Charlene. It seems like this year is harder than last year, like by a lot.
Well, you were saying that it's a lot harder for you.
And and I talked to Charlene, and I talked to some, other people that I talked to, and that seems to be the consensus that this year seems harder. Maybe it's because we still have many.
That they kind of lifted some of the mandates and stuff out there, right?
Yeah, they did. You still see the masked wonders walking around.
So that could explain why, because all these people were probably, unfortunately, following the rules and all not seeing people and stuck at home, and a lot of thinking and a lot of there's a lot that goes along with being stuck at home. I know I lost my dad at 19 too, so I know how they feel.
That's shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. I think everybody's scared too.
Well, hopefully now that everything's open and it's warming up, you guys can all get together, have a barbecue or something, do stuff like that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see some people. Definitely. I know a lot of people are starting to move around the province. Yeah.
That's good.
Well, I really am going to sign off, you guys. My eyes are killing me. It was really good of you.
Right?
We should wrap it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You guys, 2 years, like 2 years today since we did this first video. That's pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is.
To all you guys here.
200 and what, I don't know, 250 videos probably at least.
And I'll say thanks on Tara's behalf to Seamus for keeping a lot of this going. So.
Oh gosh, no.
Talking about, right? Yes.
It's
Seamus,
the
you need to
backbone,
just take it, dude. You're the fucking backbone of this shit.
Okay, well then
Yes,
I'm going to
you
wrap
are.
it up now. No. It's 'cause we
A
have
sure way to make Seamus hang up is to compliment the dude at all, and he will be gone. Yeah.
there's going to be
Yeah,
internet
he
problems.
does need to,
I'm sensing
regardless
internet
of how you
problems.
feel, it needs to be said. That's all.
My
Yeah.
signal's cutting out. It's going to
I
stop momentarily, I think.
Yeah.
I think my granddad said something like that at boarding school when I was going to boarding school, and he's like phoned up and he wasn't supposed to come and visit, and they didn't like that, and so but he needed to come about something, and so as soon as they said no, you can't come, he said, "I'm sorry. What was that you said? I can't hear you. There seems to be something wrong with my phone. I'll see you in 4 hours."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selective hearing, that's what he called it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we've got such a good team. It started very small. Started with one very brave woman who has
Okay, that's
lasted
enough of that shit.
and just grew. And wow. 23, absolutely.
Yeah.
All the families, wow.
23.
God bless you all.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being here. Cheers.
Hugs to Tara and all. God bless you all. Thank you very much for joining. Thanks for you guys. Thanks ever so much for all your support and help. I really, and just Tara for being so strong.
Yeah.
And Seamus for his help.
Okay, now I'm having problems. God bless you all. God bless the 23.
Thanks, you guys. Take